about weather and stuff. And I was on the road, and one of the hotels I was staying in, all of a sudden there's storms coming through, and the National Weather Service interrupts the TV programming to tell you that there's storms coming. And I think that's a great service, but let me just throw a little tip out to the National Weather Service. As someone who's visiting your town or city or community, I don't fucking know what county I'm in, by the way, all right? So I don't know what the fuck that means when they're rattling off Randolph, Connor, Marion, Morgan, all these kind of, I don't know what that means. Tell me, do I go into the bathtub, or can I continue masturbating to Dancing with the Stars? What do I have to do? I need some clear fucking direction here, fella. In comedy, a lot of times after shows, audience members will approach us and they'll say, "Hey, I have a joke for you," which is code for, "Hey, here's a racist joke." Every time, folks. Let's see, it's about a race or it's about someone's pussy. I know that is where the joke's gonna go. I was in Kansas City, Missouri. And after the show, this young lady approached me in the bar, and she goes, "Hey, my friends tell me I'm pretty funny," which is code for "you're not very funny." All right? They're fucking with you. She goes, "But I don't have jokes. I ask funny questions, and those funny questions lead to interesting conversations. And after watching you on stage tonight, I got a perfect question I want to ask you. Can I do that?" I'm like, "Sure, how can this go wrong?" Total stranger looks me dead in the eye in Kansas City, and she asked me this question. She goes, "So, do you have any funny nicknames for your penis?" And I said, "Well, you might want to have a seat." Because this is a classy girl. This is the kind of girl that you want to keep, meet on Facebook or Craigslist. You want to keep her close to you, folks. I was like, "Because as a matter of fact, I do. I call mine Dick Cheney." She said, "Well, that doesn't make any sense." I said, "Well, mine has shot people in the face before."
I'm so very proud of you. You're gonna really, really like this next guy. He's one of my favorite comics, and he's coming to you from Los Angeles, California. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Ryan Mean Miller. Woo!
It's 2 shows in a row where I couldn't beat the applause to the mic. I should work out more. What's up, Club Empty? Nice. You guys are like the physical manifestation of my failures. So. My daughter took me to a Take Your Dad to School day. You ever heard of that? You gotta go sit in their classes all day long. That was cool. I didn't remember a lot of the questions the teachers were asking, and except when we got to art class, the teacher said, "Does anybody here know the difference between pink and purple?" And I said, "Hell, I do. It's the grip." And I accidentally used my daughter's body wash. I ran out of mine. And it was no big deal. I just smelled like flowers all day. But it wasn't until I got to my office I figured out I had a bigger problem. When did they start putting glitter in the shit anyway? I looked like Edward, or I was motorboating stripper tits all night.
Growing up, my childhood heroes were MacGyver and Mr. Rogers. Yeah. And that's because together they taught me to build a bong out of a sweater. Smoke it, yeah. And meet you in the parking lot. What up, Shawty? This is good stuff. I was really into Fraggle Rock, too. Clap your hands if you remember Fraggle Rock. Anybody? Oh my God, I loved that show. Past tense, loved it. Here's the deal. When I was a little girl, my brother decided to save his internet pornography on our family computer under Fraggle Rock. Right? So I'm 10, I double click expecting like Sing Song Happy Muppets. Instead, I got the future of my hoo-ha getting stabbed by some man's really dull sword. Oh my God. It was so traumatizing, you guys. It was like that time in your life when you're like 5 years old, you wake up from in the middle of the night with a nightmare, you know? And you run into your parents' room, you're like, "Mommy, Daddy, I had a nightmare." And they're boinking, and you're like, "Oh my God, I'm back. It was hard, man. It didn't completely ruin pornography for me. I just can't watch puppets fuck. So it's really a downer. It's I've had to replace like 10 hours a week of my life. It's awful. Liza Minnelli felt so sexy. Thank you guys, you're really cute. No, I don't know. It's nice to be here, like on a Saturday night, like telling jokes to you guys. I'm in a relationship now, which is great, but I was single for a really long time, and I was on plentyoffish.com. If you've ever used online dating, have you heard of that? Plentyoffish.com. Yeah, found out real quick. All the fish just want to get in the boat. Yeah. Found that out, which is so dumb. Because everybody that uses that website is either broke or old, right? So on Saturday nights, I used to be choosing from like Coupon Man or Viagra Guy. Ugh. Like, what am I gonna do with a $5 footlong 2 sip to eat? Delicious. Nobody wants that. The first guy I met from that online dating site, no joke, I swear to you, he was homeless. What? Checking in and out at the library. What up, baby? Hi. I agreed to meet him. I go downtown, I meet up with him, and I see him. Oh, and he just caught my eye the very first time he started shaking his cup at me. On our first date, we just rode the bus around town, sat in the back so we could judge people. But here's the thing, it didn't work out. He broke up with me because he said he could do better. Right? Ridiculous. So I got back at him. I showed him, you guys. Guess what I did? I kept his grocery cart. What? Don't play with me. He was so funny. I missed him for a really long time. It took me a long time to like get over that. That is a true story. It was so hard because we had I really was happy with him. We had these like super sweet nicknames for each other. I'm into that. And he would call me Turkey, you know, because after a little hoo-ha, he just wanted to go to sleep. Oh, gobble, gobble. Tryptophan joke. And I called him Home Depot because it was easier for me to do it myself. Doubly funny because he's homeless. I don't know. It was tricky. It was so hard. It really hurt my feelings. And then I had to shake it off. I had to get a better outlook about relationships. I'm in a very happy relationship now. And it's because of the way I look at things. You know, I figure something out. Relationships do not have to be hard. They shouldn't be for the love. Like, men and women are not even that different. And I can prove it. Think about this. Like, women are really into chick flicks, right? And men are really into porn. Like, at least we're all agreeing a great movie requires a box of Kleenex.
Do you remember when you used to have to pay $10 to go see a bearded lady at the circus? Now we got Walmart. I love shopping at Walmart, and my kids always go with me. And I try to teach them some love and respect, you know, from all these people walking around in sweats. But that was unnecessary. And we saw this fat lady in a wheelchair. She couldn't reach something off the shelf. So I told my son, I said, hey, why don't you go help all Ironsides out over there? Get what she needs off the shelf. So he went over there and he got her 5-pound bag of flour and said, "Man, for $10 extra, my dad will roll you in it." I've been married for a long time. I was married for a long time. A really long time. I mean, I was married so long I forgot what a vagina looked like. Thank God for Arby's. Keeping it fresh. You're gonna get in trouble. Where was I? Marriage. Yeah. We chose to pick the traditional anniversary presents, which is okay. Save a lot of money. Do you know what the first year anniversary gift is?
Paper.
Paper. Do you know how long it takes you to get a paper cut deep enough to slit your throat with the paper? Second year's cotton, I guess you got to take a lot off the pill bottles for that. Anyway, our marriage would have been okay if honesty really didn't have a role in it. I don't know there's any place for that, because I was honest with everything. She wore those entrapment pants, is what I call them. You got a pair too, don't you? She put them on and she goes, honey, do these pants make my ass look fat? Those pants. I said, well, funny you should ask, because I was just going to go look for you and find out who the chick was in the kitchen with a fat ass. I was honest. Then she walked in with one of those shirts that said, I go from 0 to bitch in 3 seconds. I walked up to her and said, that's a fucking lie, you never start at 0. So after, I've been divorced for about 4 years now, and I had no self-esteem left, it was all shattered. But I had to start dating again. So I took the easy route, and I was exclusive to all the midgets I could catch the first year. Those are quick little son of a bitches. And they run fast too with all that head momentum. They just keep going straight. They just don't slow down. It's like stopping a train. But anyway, I dated them because I finally had someone look up to me again. And every time they grabbed my shit, I looked huge. So I started feeling better about myself, and I had to stop dating them because the fire department would not come over anymore. They said they're not taking them out of the trees unless I took my trampoline down. Poor little midgets. And then I went the next route. I decided to go chubby chasing. But that sounded like riding a hippity-hop without a handle. I wasn't going to do it. And whoever called that a chase in the first place anyway? How big was that guy? I should just call it what it is, whaling. And then I dated this girl that was 25 years younger than me. 25 years. And girl's about right, not a woman, but anyway. There was 2 things I noticed when dating someone that young: the difference in age, flexibility, and stamina. She had both, I had neither. But the first date, we were going at it hot and heavy for about an hour and a half. I was sweating like a pig. And my knees started to give out, and I told her, I said, hey, stop, you trying to kill me? I said, unless Chuck E. Cheese himself gets down here and pads these tubes, I'm not chasing you anymore. This game of tag is officially over. And holding hands in public was creepy. I mean, it was like, holding hands with your daughter. I mean, it just looked weird. I was just waiting for, Chris Hansen to jump out of the bushes at any minute and tell me to have a seat. I wasn't worried, though. He wouldn't catch me this time either. But my parents wanted to meet her. They didn't know she was that much younger. I looked like I, kidnapped her from a Girl Scout little table at Walmart. So we're walking up the driveway, and they're just looking. They're in shock. What can they do? So they didn't say anything. We got to the door, and my dad looked down, and he looked at her, looked at me, and I said, "I'll be a son of a bitch. When did they start making shoes that light up when you walk?" I told her to wear her damn Heelys. Where was I? Thank you. And I recently got out of a relationship. I was dating a girl who was 15 years younger than me, moving up. We were dating for 4 months, and we found out she was pregnant. She was 4 months pregnant. So I took out my placement crayons and did some math and said, wait a minute. And she goes, as soon as this baby pops out, you're taking me to Vegas. I said, honey, the delivery room is going to be just like Vegas, because I'm going to be looking over the doctor's shoulder saying, come on, black.
Girls, because they're always like,